Good afternoon. Thanks for tuning in to Dear Sybersue. I'm Susan McCord. Today's topic is when love feels one-sided. Love can feel one-sided for many reasons, and it's not always a negative. It can just be that a couple has different priorities in their relationship. Some people may feel left out if their partner has got a lot of outside activities and they're busy, they're popular with their friends. And so that can feel like you're sort of left at home a lot. This is one of the things that I talk to my couples about in the coaching sessions is if you let things just go and you don't want to be that person who brings up and you're feeling like you're nagging or you're being too tough about something, your partner doesn't really know how you feel. Before things escalate, it's always a good idea to have these boundaries set up so that when you're talking to your partner outside of something happening, you're just having discussions about what's important to you and you want to have a reciprocated relationship. You tell each other how you're feeling. If you let things go on for so long and then all of a sudden it starts to bother you, then you're going to have a bit of a situation to deal with. Because your partner has been doing something for so long now and they didn't know it bothered you. It's always very, very important to express your needs. It doesn't mean that you're being picky or you're being strong-headed. You're just saying what's important to you, what you need from your partner, and vice versa. You want to have a reciprocated situation here so that one person doesn't feel like the other person's getting everything their way. You want it to be that the respect is mutually there. You want to keep your partnership in a balanced place. So that means having the talks before things get out of hand. Don't bury them and pretend you're okay with stuff. This is why it's always a really, really good idea to have conversations on a weekly basis. Sit down and talk to each other. Go out for a nice date night or a coffee and just say, this is what I really like about our relationship. And what do you think needs working on? Well, then you can talk about that. And if one of you is starting to feel lonely in your relationship, that's a tough place to come back from if you leave it unaddressed. When you have equal compromise in your relationship, there's very little sacrifice because you're both getting what you need. You're also getting what you deserve, which is called respect from each other. You're hearing each other. And sometimes as the years go by, we don't listen as well as we did in the beginning. And that's what starts to cause the relationship to fizzle a little bit because we're not paying close enough attention to the maintenance of what is important. And as you grow together as a couple, sometimes the communication changes and you need to be brought back into the mutual connection again. This is not abnormal, and it is something that happens to everybody. But the couples that pay close attention to these changes in their partnership will be the ones that do stand the test of time because they understand the importance of watching what's going on and noticing changes that are upsetting the relationship to a certain degree. But this is the time to really be aware of what's transpiring in your partnership. It's very important to notice some of the subtle changes. Another thing that can happen is your daily priorities aren't in alignment. Maybe your partner has a very intense career and they're putting more and more energy into that. And that's causing a bit of an upset at home because you're not feeling a balanced connection with them. A good thing to do in this situation is if you've got a busy week at work or a busy couple of weeks at work, talk to your partner. Tell them that there's going to be a little bit more time invested there. And same for you. If you've got things going on, activities that might take up time a week or so later, talk to them about it. Just always be communicative with each other. That solves a lot of problems. And that way they're not thinking that you're pulling back from them. There's a reason that you're busy, or there's a reason that you've got something on down the road that they need to know about. If you talk to each other like this, you're not going to feel lonely because you're both feeling heard and there's a communicative relationship between the two of you. Sometimes what can happen in relationships is one person feels that they're always the initiator. They're the one that's making intimacy happen, or they're the one that's the social person that's making everything happen in the home. This can really become one-sided if the other person isn't paying attention to this. There needs to be both of you interacting with how your relationship progresses, how your social life is, how your work schedule, how your fitness schedule is, what you do with the kids. Sometimes children can be very, very high maintenance, and that can take up a lot of time and can pull the weight of romance from you as a couple. This is something that needs to be paid attention to as well, because if intimacy starts changing, your partner will start to feel lonelier and lonelier and feel insecure that you're not interested in them anymore. No one wants to feel that the relationship rests on their shoulders, that it's up to them to keep everything flowing in a nice direction here. It has to be compromise on both sides and reciprocated effort. It's not one person's job to maintain the love in your partnership. We've all heard of the couples who live separate lives while they're living together. This isn't where you want to be. You fell in love for a reason, so you want to maintain that love. It does take effort and energy to keep that going. But everything in life does. Your job does. Your raising children does. Why throw away the one thing that was really important to you? We change a lot, and that's part of the problem. Is we do sometimes have different needs as we get older. Maybe there's health issues we're dealing with, a new job, career change happens, and it causes a big blip in the structure of the relationship. If you communicate on a regular basis and don't let things slip or slide in any direction, you will be able to get through anything together. The reason it is called a partnership is because you're a team. And teamwork is reciprocated. You both put in the same amount of energy and time into nurturing the love in your relationship. Things come in to change the dynamics sometimes, but it's up to you as a couple to understand there's a change going on. Do not let it go further. Take the time to sit down and say to each other, have you noticed this? Like, this is not okay right now. We need to do something about it because we're not spending enough time together, and I feel that we're being pulled apart in different directions. Talk to them about it in a nice, soft way without pointing fingers at each other, and just discuss what's going on. Don't be the last person to know that your relationship is in trouble or someone's checking out. Share the responsibility at home. Do not take your partner for granted that they're going to do something all the time. Check in regularly as a couple. You have your own outside activities. They have their own outside activities. Just make sure that that's on equal grounds as well, because you want to be able to feel that you've got a life outside of your relationship that your partner is supportive of, and vice versa. Then when you come back together, you go out on a date night or you have some alone time in your home, then you can feel good about it. You don't feel trapped. You don't feel stifled at all. You feel that you still have a personal life with your friends and maybe your family, but you also have a really great life together as a couple. You're not always going to feel balanced in your relationship. That's just a given because we all have different things that happen to us in different stages of our life. But if you can be openly communicative about it and let the other person know what's going on, they'll always respect the fact that you are talking to them, you're communicating. And that's all anybody asks in a relationship. Just always be there for each other and listen. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Please click like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.